3 days, one city, and I did not want to get on that plane. What is up, everyone? I'm the 360 Nomad, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel where I take my 360 camera to every corner of this planet. Recently retired full-time traveler, and I am currently on a 2-month deep dive into Southeast Asia. 2 months, 5 countries, a camera, and zero regret. And we are kicking it off in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia today, KL. The city that nobody warned me was going to be this good. I had 3 days here, only 3. Day 1, I landed at KLIA, Kuala Lumpur International Airport, which is massive and modern, and I was genuinely impressed just walking through it. The KLIA express train can take you straight into the city center in about 28 minutes. No fuss, super clean, but I just took a grab. First, dinner. And not just any dinner. I'm talking dinner with a front row seat to the Petronas Twin Towers. These things are iconic. At 452 meters tall, the Petronas Towers were the tallest buildings in the world from 1998 to 2004. They're still the tallest twin towers on the planet. And when you're sitting there eating, sipping something cold, and those towers are just glowing in the distance, that's a moment. That is a full cinematic moment. I'm staying at the Manor, at an Airbnb that had me doing a double take when I saw the photos, the rooftop pool with the skyline at night. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Day 2, I'm up early and I have booked the 10 Wonders of Kuala Lumpur guided tour, full day, 10 stops, and it absolutely delivered. First stop, and I mean first stop, Batu Caves, and this place hit different. You know those locations that you've seen in pictures 100 times and you think, okay, it's probably fine in real life? And then you show up and it actually exceeds every expectation? That's Batu Caves. Let me set the scene. You arrive and the first thing that grabs you is a 42.7 meter tall golden statue of Lord Murugan, the Hindu deity, standing at the base of the caves. That's 140 feet tall. It's one of the tallest statues of a Hindu deity in the world, and it is magnificent, gold, gleaming. You cannot miss it. Behind it, 272 rainbow-colored steps lead up into the limestone caves themselves. The caves are hundreds of millions of years old. We're talking 400 million years of geological history, and they've been a sacred Hindu temple site since 1890. The Batu Caves are the centerpiece of the annual Thaipusam festival, where millions of pilgrims make this climb. You feel the energy of that history the moment you step foot here. The climb is real, by the way. 272 steps in Malaysian humidity is a workout. I'm not going to lie to you, but worth every single one. Now, I have to talk about the monkeys, because nobody really tells you about the monkeys. They are everywhere. Long-tailed macaques, just casually hanging out on the steps, on the railings, on each other. They are completely unbothered by humans. One of them looked me directly in the eyes and I felt judged. They are bold, they are clever, and they will take your food if you're not paying attention. A woman near me lost her entire bag of chips in under 2 seconds. I watched it happen. The monkey didn't even run, just held eye contact while eating her chips. Iconic behavior. There is also a statue of Hanuman, the monkey god from the Hindu epic Ramayana, which makes perfect sense given the energy of this place. Hanuman is a symbol of strength, devotion, and loyalty, and his presence here is deeply meaningful to Hindu worshippers. We also went through the Ramayana cave, which is a separate cave experience to the side of the main cathedral cave. This one is decorated with colorful dioramas, painted scenes from the Hindu epic, the Ramayana. It's like a walk-through story. Figures, murals, dramatic lighting. It's vibrant, and it's genuinely beautiful. Next up, the Batik Factory, specifically Jodi Batik Gallery. This was a stop I didn't expect to love as much as I did. Batik is a traditional Malaysian fabric art form where wax and dye are used to create intricate patterns on cloth. The The results are stunning. Rich colors, geometric patterns, floral designs. It's genuinely an art form. At Jodi Batek, you can watch artisans work. The level of detail and patience involved in creating a single piece is humbling. Malaysia's batik tradition blends Malay, Javanese, and Chinese design influences, and every piece tells a story. Beautiful stuff. The National Mosque of Malaysia, Masjid Negara, is next, and this one stopped me in my tracks. Built in 1965, it's one of the largest mosques in Southeast Asia, with capacity for 15,000 worshippers. The architecture is striking, a stunning blue folded star roof that looks like a giant origami sculpture, surrounded by lush gardens and reflecting pools. Non-Muslim visitors are welcome outside of prayer times. You're given a robe to wear, if needed. And I would say this is one of the most peaceful spots in the entire city. After the energy of Batu Caves, stepping into the quiet grounds of the National Mosque was a beautiful contrast. Truly a special building. Stop for Thean Hou Temple. Okay, this is one of those places where I just handed the camera to my guide for a second so I could stand still and take it all in without trying to document it. Sometimes you have to do that. Thean Hou Temple is a six-tiered Chinese, Taoist, and Buddhist temple built by the Hainanese community, completed in 1987. It's dedicated to Thean Hou, the Heavenly Mother, a sea goddess revered by the Malaysian Chinese community, particularly those with roots in the Hainan province of China. The temple sits elevated on a hill, so you get these sweeping views of the KL skyline from the upper tiers. Combined with the traditional red and gold architecture, the lanterns strung everywhere, and the intricate carvings, it is photogenic in every direction you point a camera. There are 6 tiers, and each level has something different: altars, cultural spaces, a car park level that still somehow feels festive, and at the top, gardens and panoramic views. This temple is especially dramatic during Chinese New Year, when the entire structure is lit with thousands of lanterns. But honestly, any day is a good day to visit Thean Hou. I could have stayed here for hours. Pro tip: come late afternoon if you want the golden hour light hitting those red walls. Thank me later. Stop 5, Independence Square, Dataran, Merdeka. This is where it all happened. On August 31st, 1957, Malaysia declared independence from British colonial rule right here on this field. The Union Jack came down, the Malaysian flag went up, and a new nation was born. Standing on that grass and knowing the history, goosebumps, honestly. Facing the square is the Sultan Abdul Samad building, an absolute stunner of Moorish colonial architecture built in 1897. Think copper domes, a 40-meter clock tower, arched colonnades, and red brick. It was built during British rule and originally housed the colonial government. Today, it's home to the Court of Appeal. The building is particularly beautiful at dusk when the warm light catches those copper domes. One of the most photographed buildings in Malaysia, and you'll understand why the second you see it. Stop 6. Central Market, Pasar Seni, is next. And this is where we spent a solid chunk of the afternoon, and I am not complaining. Built in 1888 as an actual wet market, this Art Deco building was renovated in the 1980s and is now one of the best spots in KL to find Malaysian arts, crafts, and cultural goods all under one roof. We're talking batik pewterware. Malaysia is huge in the pewter industry. Royal Selangor is world famous. Handmade jewelry, traditional musical instruments, puppets, artwork, textiles, and food. The building itself is gorgeous. Teal blue exterior, colonial Art Deco structure. Inside it feels like a treasure hunt, and I love a treasure hunt. The cultural performances that sometimes happen in the atrium, incredible. Even just walking through the stalls, watching artisans, chatting with vendors, it's an experience. Central Market is right in the thick of Old KL, near the river. and it captures a really authentic slice of Malaysian cultural heritage. Not touristy in a bad way, genuinely vibrant and full of local pride. Lunch was right there in the Central Market food court. And look, I had a bowl of Kuala Lumpur-style noodle soup. We're talking flat rice noodles in a rich, savory broth, topped with fresh herbs. The kind of bowl that makes you close your eyes on the first sip. Under $5. KL does affordable, incredible food better than almost anywhere I've been. After lunch, we walked over to the River of Life. The Klang and Gombak rivers meet right here, and this is actually the very spot where KL was founded in the 1850s. The name Kuala Lumpur literally means muddy estuary in Malay, referring to these rivers. Today, the riverfront has been dramatically revitalized with colorful lights, walkways, and public art. Evening time, and the evening belongs to food. I signed up for the Kuala Lumpur Sambal Street food tour. 15 tastings, 15. I was not leaving hungry. The tour starts in the Chow Kit area, one of the most authentic, local, non-touristy neighborhoods in KL. This is where real KL residents come to shop, eat, and live. The Chow Kit market is a sensory explosion, fresh produce, dried goods, spices, the smell of durian hanging in the air whether you like it or not. We tried most of them. This area is alive. We walked through Pintu Gerbang Kampung, the village gateway area, which gives you a real sense of traditional Malay kampung, or village, culture right in the middle of a modern city. The contrast is wild and wonderful. Old wooden shop houses next to modern towers. Street food stalls lit by single bulbs. Kids on bikes. This is the soul of KL. One of our food stops was Wanjo Restaurant, a legendary local spot. The nasi lemak here is next level. Nasi lemak is the national dish of Malaysia. Fragrant coconut rice served with sambal, anchovies, peanuts, cucumber, and your choice of protein. It's eaten at breakfast, lunch, dinner, midnight. Malaysians don't need a reason. We wrapped the food tour with a mango smoothie and headed to Saloma Bridge, a gorgeous pedestrian bridge with stunning views of the KL skyline. And if you think a mango smoothie sounds anticlimactic after 15 tastings, you'd be wrong. The bridge is named after a famous Malaysian singer, Saloma, and it's lit beautifully at night. Standing there, cold mango smoothie in hand, breeze coming off the river, that was a genuine pinch me moment. Petronas Towers at night and KLCC Park. I walked over to KLCC, the Kuala Lumpur City Center, and there they are, the Petronas Twin Towers at night, lit up, every detail illuminated against the dark sky. If you've seen them in daylight, you think you know. You do not know until you've seen them at night. The towers have a light show, and the reflection off the park's pools is just chef's kiss. KLCC Park wraps around the base of the towers. 50 acres of landscaped gardens, fountains, a lake, and a wading pool. Families, couples, joggers, tourists, street performers, everyone is here. The energy is warm and celebratory. I sat on a bench for a while, just taking it all in. Petronas Towers from below, looking straight up. It's a perspective that makes you feel beautifully small. This is the moment where I started doing the math. What if I just extended my trip? What if KL got a few more days? I did not extend, but I thought about it hard. Day 3, final day. I decided to go rogue. No tour guide, just me, my camera, and my curiosity. I started in Bukit Bintang, the Times Square of Kuala Lumpur. This is KL's premier entertainment and shopping district. You've got massive malls like Pavilion KL, Berjaya Times Square, and Lot 10 all right here. But I wasn't here for malls, I was here for the streets. Bukit Bintang means Star Hill in Malay, and the area lives up to the name. It's dazzling. Wide boulevards lined with restaurants, cafes, street art, and people watching opportunities at every corner. The international crowd is huge here. This is where tourists and expats mix with locals, and the result is this cosmopolitan buzzing energy that's distinctly KL. Very walkable, very photogenic. Jalan Alor. This is the street food street of KL. By day, it's a fairly quiet row of hawker stalls and restaurants, but even in daylight, you can see the bones of what it becomes at night. The red plastic chairs, the charcoal grills being prepped, the seafood laid out on ice. Jalan Alor is a kilometer-long food paradise, and at night it transforms into one of the most atmospheric dining experiences in Southeast Asia. The street has been a food destination since the 1960s. Quick walk through Changkat Bukit Bintang. This is the nightlife strip of KL. By day, it's all shuttered bars and charming colonial shop houses. At night, it becomes cocktails, live music, and a whole different vibe. Great bars, rooftop spots, live music venues. Okay, lunch at Jalan Alor. Oysters, fresh, briny, perfect. Breaded shrimp, crispy, juicy, dipped in that sweet chili sauce that I am now obsessed with. And a large tiger beer. Tiger beer is brewed in Malaysia and Singapore. It's been around since 1932, and there is genuinely nothing better than an ice-cold tiger on a warm KL afternoon with a plate of seafood in front of you. I am not a food blogger, but I need you to understand that this lunch was a spiritual experience. I walked the whole length of Jalan Alor during the afternoon hours, and this street is genuinely packed with seafood. I'm talking prawns the size of my hand, live crabs in tanks, fish displayed on beds of ice, lobsters, clams, mussels. If it lives in the ocean, it's on Jalan Alor. The vendors are friendly and enthusiastic and will absolutely try to tempt you into eating more than you planned. And honestly, let them. The prices are reasonable, the quality is fantastic, and this is exactly the kind of eating experience that KL is famous for. Malaysia is one of the world's great food destinations. This is not a controversial statement. The country sits at the crossroads of so many culinary traditions: Malay, Chinese, Indian, Nyonya, Portuguese, Thai influences. The result is one of the most diverse, flavorful, and affordable food scenes on the planet. And Jalan Alor is kind of the greatest hits album of that story. From Jalan Alor, I walked over to Merdeka 118. And if you haven't heard of this building, Merdeka 118 is the second tallest building in the world. 678.9 meters, 118 floors, completed in 2023. It overtook the Shanghai Tower and sits behind only the Burj Khalifa in terms of raw height. The name Merdeka means independence. Same root as Independence Square, honoring Malaysia's national identity. I walked through the north lobby, and even at ground level, the scale of this building is mind-bending. The architectural design is inspired by traditional Malaysian craftsmanship. The exterior has a faceted glass pattern that references Malaysian geometric art. Inside, the lobby has this soaring atrium that makes you feel like you're inside a crystal. There's an observation deck in the works as well. When it opens fully, the views are going to be absolutely insane. Over to Petaling Street, KL's Chinatown. And what a contrast to the gleaming towers I'd just been standing next to. Petaling Street is old KL. It's been a Chinese trading hub since the late 19th century, and you can feel that history in the covered walkways, the red lanterns strung overhead, the two-story shop houses with their faded paint and old signage. Right there on the edge of Chinatown is the Sri Maha Mariamman Temple, one of the oldest and most important Hindu temples in KL, built in 1873. The Gopuram, the ornate tower at the entrance, is absolutely extraordinary. Covered in hundreds of figures, deities, and intricate carvings painted in vivid colors, the visual intensity of the tower. Even from the outside, this temple stops you in your tracks. It's a reminder of how Malaysia's Indian community has been part of the fabric of this city for over 150 years. I spent the last of the daylight hours wandering through Peddling Street proper, just taking it all in. The energy shifts as evening approaches. Stalls that were quiet at midday are firing up. The lanterns start to mean more as the sky darkens. Street food vendors wheel out their carts. Locals are heading home from work and stopping to grab dinner. The street market here sells everything: watches, handbags, souvenirs, clothing, dried goods, herbs. The vendors are lively. Bargaining is expected and encouraged. Even if you're not buying, just walking through the covered market stalls with the sounds and smells of Chinatown around you is an experience. KL's Chinatown is one of the oldest in Southeast Asia, and it sits right next to the historic Merdeka Square area, past and present, traditional and modern, all within walking distance of each other. Okay, it's late. My feet are absolutely cooked. I pull out my phone, open Grab, which, let me tell you, is about to become my absolute best friend for the next 2 months across all of Southeast Asia. Grab is the dominant ride-hailing app in this part of the world. Think Uber, but everywhere. Reliable, affordable. I will be using Grab literally every day for the next 8 weeks. Drivers show up fast, rates are clear, and it takes away all the stress of negotiating tuk-tuk fares. If you're coming to Southeast Asia, download Grab before you land. I'm serious. I ride back to the manor. I go up to that rooftop pool. I sit in the warm night air looking out at the KL skyline, and I just sit with it. 3 days in this city. What a 3 days. This is the magic of KL, the ultra-modern Merdeka 118, the colonial era buildings, the vibrant Chinatown, the Hindu temples, the Islamic mosques, the Chinese Buddhist shrines, all within a few kilometers of each other. This is genuinely one of the most multicultural cities I've ever visited, and it wears that identity proudly and naturally. That's beautiful. Let me give you the list. The list of things I am leaving behind in Kuala Lumpur that I genuinely did not want to say goodbye to. The Petronas Towers, lit at night, glowing over KLCC Park, the kind of landmark that never gets old no matter how many times you walk past it. Batu Caves, 400 million years of limestone and 130 years of sacred Hindu tradition. Thean Hou Temple at golden hour, 6 tiers, skyline views, red and gold everywhere. The noodle soup at the Central Market Food Court, Jalan Alor. Those oysters, that tiger beer, that breaded shrimp. The Sambal Street Food Tour with 15 tastings. 15. The mango smoothie on Saloma Bridge. Chinatown at dusk. The Sri Maha Mariamman Temple, Gopuram. The Sultan Abdul Samad Building. And the rooftop pool at the manor, looking out at a city that I arrived in as a stranger and am leaving feeling like not quite a local, but something close. Kuala Lumpur, I did not expect you to hit this hard. I thought you were a 3-day stopover. You turned out to be one of the highlights of the entire trip, and we haven't even gotten to the rest of Southeast Asia yet. If you made it this far, thank you, genuinely. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. It actually helps this channel more than you know. Subscribe so you don't miss the next stop on this 2-month SE Asia journey. I'm just getting started, and it only gets more wild from here. The 360 Nomad. Follow my journey wherever you get your content, and I'll see you at the next destination. Let's go.